can we do it full screen or as fine? Yeah. So, yeah, Scoop enhances the value of rural farmland. We started as a carbon company, pivoted more towards generic land use. And in our flagship product called Farmbook, can you guess what Farmbook is? Is Facebook for farms, as you guess. So we have 1 million Brazilian privately owned farms that we have deployed onto our platform. We are entering the Nordics and Hokkaido also because that's the agricultural heart of Japan. We just came back from there. So our vision is to connect all these different farms based on different features that they have to each other. So of the 1 million farms that we have already deployed onto our platform, if you zoom in on any of them using the original satellite images, you see a tiny house or like a cabin or some form of house, and within each of these like hundreds of hectares, you zoom in and you see one house like that, and in there is somebody having one of these amazing devices, or a tablet or a phone or something that makes us able to communicate and to help them understand the value of their farms and guide them towards practices that are both ecologically sustainable and economically viable. So how do we do that? First of all, it depends on the type of land. In Brazil, also elsewhere, this is the sort of the breakdown of most land use in Brazil, but more or less the sorting changes. You have cropland, pasture land, agroforest, residential, on-terrain map. So one typical privately owned map can have a combination of those different land uses. So what can they do with their different parts of their farm depends on what there is, and it requires a lot of calculations based on different data layers. So here is an example of an actual land that we have used, we have looked into. So on our platform, first we have to use computer vision to and combine it with different land use maps to identify and classify the current land use. So here's an example of one of our signups. So it's divided into 3 parts. That on-terrain map of forest is not eligible to, in this case, create carbon credits. The other 2 parts, they can be, because the top part is degraded and the middle part can also be conserved. So, sorry. This is another example of how we calculate different types of land use that they can do. In this case, these are different carbon credits, and that's our value proposition to the farmers, but we are going beyond that by telling them how that can also increase the productivity of the land, but also how it can increase the value of the land. So how do we do that? There's a typo here. This is real estate value under legal. So we have, first of all, we have a lot of publicly accessible data. So in the case of Brazil, we have downloaded many different data layers from publicly available for free from different ministries of agriculture, finance, and also land use, which is under the department under the agriculture. And we have also satellite images that are publicly accessible. Also, there are some particular programs supported by NICFI, which is gives us access to 0.5 meter resolution satellite images. So there are also weather data that are publicly accessible. So basically, it's a lot of data sets that are publicly available. There are also some user-generated data where we crowdsource the data. We encourage the people our farmers to give us the data that otherwise we don't have access to. And what kind of data we have? We have legal data, who owns what, how much is the value, the ecological data, the soil map, forest types, and these are the unprocessed data where we use the data science and different algorithms to combine and cook up different dishes. And also economical data, so different value of different crops. And then depending on what type of land we have, so if there's a degraded land, we are using some 40 different types of agroforestry planning provided by World Resource Institute. This is one of them. We could also visualize them. Here I can show you some more examples of that. If there exist existing forests, we use satellite images to identify, so this is a research project that we are collaborating together with the CR2 labs in Bergen, to identify the types of trees using satellite images by the SkySat planets, SkySat resolution, which is RGB images with 0.5 meter resolution, which is challenging. So much better than that is to use LiDAR. LiDAR, if you are familiar with LiDAR, it's a laser beam that is from different direction, collects the surface of any object. So if you use a drone, for example, or also satellite, or even terrestrial way of collecting these point clouds, it looks like something like this to the left. So it gives you a very accurate mapping of your existing trees. We use machine learning algorithms unsupervised to divide and classify different types of vegetation. So these are the leaves, these are the tree branches, debris on the floor, and also it even can find out if trees have fallen on the ground. We extract from these something called allometric equations. That's the ratio of different parts of a tree to each other, which helps us identify what type of tree actually we are observing. So using different sort of land plans, we can also estimate how much they can make money, the farmers, through different ways of land use. We are also working on creating digital twins of forests or different types of lands. In this case, we are focusing on planting trees on maps. So we get a height map, we get the RGB satellite image, we combine them into something like that, and we plant the trees. We Photoshop some because the trees would be stamped. We Photoshop them out using, again, computer vision algorithms, and then we enhance them into something that is much more realistic than the so-called WebGL solutions to the right. To the left side, if I can show the digital twin, how it looks like. You can even walk into one of our projects. I don't know if it's, this is like a first-person view of an existing farm, existing forest. The position of trees are informed by satellite, so they are also their type for this patch of land. Our value proposition to the farmers is to enhance the value of the farm, the raw land, as well as increasing the productivity of the farm. There's more, but I think I would stop here. If you have any questions later, please let me know.
Thank you very much. Can everyone hear me? Yeah? Okay, good. Well, that was pretty technical for some people, I believe. Did anyone think that was a bit too technical? Though, yeah, okay, thank you very much, But this is what we're trying to bring. We're trying to bring people of different walks with different knowledge together, right? Because if we are going to solve these issues that we are sitting with right now, we need people of different walks, different knowledge, different backgrounds coming together and trying to solve this, right? It's it's not easy. Communication is one of the most toughest things. I work in it. I speak 4 or 5 languages. Anyway, so still communicating is one of the toughest things. And then today, one of the biggest challenges is, we spoke to Oslo Kommune. One of the biggest challenges is that they have 47 some divisions, right? And they do not communicate with each other. So they do not have the data that they need to solve problems, right? So there's a huge bottleneck when it comes to communicating, because the finance department is speaking one language, and then the engineering division is speaking, the town planning is speaking something else, and so on and so forth. So, but like it or not, that's what we're trying to solve here. We're trying to bring people of different walks, get them to speak with each other, get them to understand each other, and usually you see, you go to a meetup, if it's a marketing meetup, all the marketing people hang around, right? If it's a healthy meetup, it's all the healthy people hang together. But we want to break the rule, help you come out of your shell, or step out of your comfort zone. And well, going from one extreme, talking about very much about data, and one of the things I wanted to point out here was the fact that today we have this technology to actually see what's happening in the forest unmanned, right? We have predictability, and today we can use this technology in whatever part of the world, with human beings, with wildlife, with anything that we desire, any problem that we need to solve. Today we have the technology to go in there. The example I like that Nima presented was going deep into the jungles of Amazon, right?
Yeah.
Right? So we have the ability to go deep into the jungles of Amazon. Imagine being able to use the same technology, of course, considering privacy, in our own communities. How to face green, the green transition, how to see what people are using, what people are not using, and based on that data, change what the governments and the commune or the municipalities are building, and so on and so forth.